Are you one of those sellers who would use Amazon PPC auto campaigns for keyword harvesting and finding new relevant keywords? If yes, you might want to change it. In this video, you will learn how to properly use auto campaigns for products in different life cycle phases, and you will find out 2 advanced brand protection strategies which are not used by many sellers. In this video, you will see a little bit of the Amalyze tool which Christian represents, and if you would like to try Amalyze in your Amazon business, check the link below in the description.
Hi, Christian. I'm really happy to have you here on Orange Click channel today. And today you will share how sellers could leverage using Amazon PPC auto campaigns. But before we start discussing it, could you first introduce yourself and let us know what you do in the Amazon space and how Amalyze helps Amazon sellers?
Yeah, hello together. Thank you for having us here. My name is Christian Kelm. I'm working in the Amazon industry since 10 years now. 2013 I started with a big vendor. Then I also worked for an agency, for a seller. I was self-employed, and now I'm working as vice president at Amalyze. And as a software as a service, we work with a lot of data. So we have over 3 billion, and yes, it's no translation problem, German, English, 3 billion ASINs in tracking and monitoring. And so we help you to make better decisions. That's the easiest way to formulate it. We are helping you with our data to make better decisions.
Okay, sounds really good. So you're definitely the right person to talk with when it comes down to Amazon PPC. And when we initially discussed what could be the topic we could be talking today about, what could be beneficial for the Amazon sellers listening to us, then you proposed to talk about how Amazon sellers could actually use Amazon PPC auto campaigns to maximize their performance and their brand as well. So maybe shortly, just for the intro, why did you think talking about auto campaigns from such an angle is important today?
Of course, everybody is using them wrong. Everybody is.
Simple answer.
Yes, everybody is using them wrong. That's it.
Okay, very good. So that's a really good starting point, I think, for the interview. So everybody is using them wrong. So what are kind of the myths or things that sellers usually think about auto campaigns, which aren't certainly true?
Yeah. Well, I haven't said they are not true, but they are wrong. That's the problem here. Normally, you're setting up auto campaigns for keyword harvesting. That is a myth since Amazon AMS, formerly called AMS, Amazon Marketing Services, were launched. Everybody set it up auto campaigns and then benefit from the data auto campaign created. The problem here is an auto campaign is built up on the relevance of your content. And if you have a bad content, you will optimize in a bad way. So you will not see a highly relevant data behind it. So first of all, you need good content for very good auto campaign. So with bad content comes bad relevance, comes bad keyword harvesting.
But under the content, what elements do you exactly mean to kind of set everything straight?
The relevance is built up by the browse node ID, by the product type, and also by the words you are using in your normal content, title, bullet points, description, backend, and all the other data fields that are indexed. And when you are not filling them, that is one problem. And when you're filling them wrong, that is a problem. And for example, everybody is trying to hijack the browse nodes for higher BSR. But with that, normally you have changes in the category specific keyword sets and also with the product types, and you will lose a lot of relevance. So you're using tools, but you are a chainsaw and there's a specific product type for chainsaw. You cannot mix it up as you want it. Of course, behind that, there's a relevant connections. And when you're setting up and starting with auto campaigns, you will not see the highly good results as you could have seen. And that is one of the problems. And also from my point of view, over the last 4, maybe 5 years, the tools developed a lot. Amazon now with the Search Query Performance Report, Amazon Data Insights, Brand Analytics, and so on, you really don't need to use an auto campaign for keyword harvesting. The data is there. And from another point, third point, you're building up your listing, you're working with Amazon SEO, so you're structuring your content, you're figuring out what keywords are relevant, what complete phrases you want to focus on. And when you need an auto campaign, you already had that data you should advertise on. All your SEO is your fundamental basics for your PPC. Why not copying just that words into your PPC? I really don't get it. You're writing really good content, working with a lot of lists of keywords and different phrases and all that stuff. And when you start new with keyword harvesting while using auto campaigns, I don't get it.
Okay, so would you say that if the seller is already analyzing the brand analytics reports and doing all sorts of keyword research for the SEO, then there wouldn't be such a surprise keywords coming out of those auto campaigns, right?
No.
Okay, but from the standpoint of launching a new product, would you still use auto campaigns, or maybe you can explain a little bit, like if sellers should use them for launching a new product, then what kind of structure or what kind of would be the goal of those campaigns?
The problem with launching is normally you're thinking about, oh, I have a really new product, but Amazon, as the biggest marketplace worldwide, there is no new product at all. When you're coming with a high new idea, really evolutionary new idea, okay, we can talk about it. Of course, you're using new words, the customer has to learn the new words. Okay, that's a different topic. But normally you're launching a product that is there. Somewhere in the marketplace, you will find it, and somewhere in the marketplaces, you will find it through the auto suggest and all that. Other tools, not only Amazon tools, you can use other tools like our, of course, and you will find the data you should focus on. The problem, I think, is while launching, everybody is thinking about, I don't know which keyword will perform best. Okay, nobody knows that, but you can directly focus on all that SEO relevant terms in your PPC. Auto campaigns are, from my point of view, an always on strategy. It doesn't matter if it is in launch or a new or an old product or a really big competitive product or a specific niche. That isn't the point. Of course, when the relevance changes, sometimes, of course, to change data fields by yourself as a seller or by Amazon, you need that auto campaigns to find the right spot automatically. So that's the name of the campaign. And also sometimes it will change, maybe customers searching AB and it's changing to BA, yeah, so they switched it. Or Amazon is launching more and more ad carousels on the PDP or elsewhere, and auto campaigns will directly slip into that ad carousels, and you cannot actively target them, but the auto campaigns bring you to more and more relevant ad slots than you can imagine. So with not using auto campaigns, you will have a lack of ad slots. And with only using auto campaigns for keyword harvesting, you will miss a lot of potential. And that is what we are talking about today. So normally, years ago, I think since 2 years, it's not working perfectly, but the rest of the year, so we're talking about 5 to 6 years, we have used a specific strategy, was called bidding corridors. So you set it up in auto campaign, and you set it a bid for 11 cents, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, whatever you want, $1, $2, $3, up to $10, $100, whatever you wanted. But you made sure it was the same products in it, and you have only copied it and changed the bids. Every campaign was performing in their bid range as good as possible. And the bad campaigns, you had only to switch off, and the rest performed absolutely well. When Amazon changed a lot of things in the bidding system on Amazon in the PPC game, so that wasn't working anymore. So we have tried to figure out what is still working. And Amazon came up with that specific bid modifier, up and down, only down, and fixed bids. And what we have figured out was really easy. When you're setting up your auto campaign, let's say 17 cents and fixed bids, and you are copying that campaign and setting up with 17 cents, but you change it to only down. Copy it again and changed it to up and down. You have 3 performant auto campaigns in different bidding scenarios. You're just starting with a 17 cent, but the one is fixed, the one is down only, and the other one is up and down only. And that is really interesting. You're part of more ad auctions. You can now reach to more relevant ad slots. Of course, the relevance of your product and your auction, your campaign is judged in 3 steps. Maybe you're part with fixed bids, and in the next hour, maybe you're part with down-only bids. The problem here is, from my point of view, you're setting up one auto campaign, one product in it, and you're believing with a higher bid or whatever, you can be part of all ad auctions. But you will not be part of all ad auctions. It's about the relevance, the correct time, the bidding scenarios, the bid modifiers, and all that behind it. So to become part of more relevant ad auctions with only using auto campaigns, just copy the auto campaigns, leave the bid the same, but change the modifiers from fixed bid to down only and the other one to up and down, and you will become part of more ad auctions. And that is one of the most relevant things you have to think about from my point of view. Everybody's talking about the bid at the end. That only means how to win the auction. So get an impression is one auction, one of the relevant definitions everybody needs to understand. An impression means you have won the auction, but nobody is talking about how to be part of as much as possible relevant ad auctions. And that system with auto campaigns is a really, really simple trick. For the hard nerds out there, you're asking first, okay, for one product or for portfolio or for a whole account? It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can set it up for one product. It's cool. If you have a whole portfolio of bracelets, put all ASINs in there. It doesn't matter. If you want to put your whole account into it, no problem. It's just a mindset thing. If you're calculating your conversion rate and bids and margin on portfolio range or account range or on ASIN level, you can build it up as you want. On the other side, normally I get asked, what is about ad groups? So as for years, not 4 years, since AMS, Amazon Marketing Services, were released, we were the first agency with an ad account in Europe. So we know what we're talking about normally. And the idea was to work with vendors, and there were a lot of differences between Amazon Vendor Central and Seller Central, and one was a big opportunity. You only had campaigns. There were no ad groups. I really always working with one campaign, one ad group. I don't like the other ad groups who don't understand that from the vendor side, it was not possible to have an ad group. And from the system of managing your ads, you have that campaign status of campaign budget and other things that are directly connected to all your ad groups. So normally, if you're working on ad group level, you always have to figure out what is the campaign settings that is directly connected to all ad groups. So from my point, a lot of problems. So I'm working with campaign and ad group. But for that, guys and women out there, everybody is into that. You can also work with ad groups. The nice idea here is 3 auto campaigns. One is fixed, one is up and down, one is down only. And now you go into that campaign and you're setting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you want, ad groups in the same system with the same ASIN, and they will also perform by themselves. So we are getting deeper and deeper into the splitting of data. So first we started with auto campaign at all. You have to decide for 1 or 3, but that's bad. Decide for all of them. Okay, see what is working best. With more details possible behind it, use ad groups. as many as you want. Yeah, maybe 5 is too much to have an overview about it. But now the funny thing begins to start. You're relevant for the specific ad auctions, and you will see the results behind it. And instead of optimize your bid, you can now just set on or off the campaign you want to set alive or staying alive. And the other campaigns you can just stop. Ad groups, not the campaigns. And with that, you don't have to focus on which keyword is it placed on, which ASIN is it using, or so you can directly get rid of a problem, but the rest of the campaign structure, the rest of the ad groups will work on in your auto campaign ecosystem. And that is really, really cool from my point of view. It's really not complicated. Maybe it sounded complicated, but just take your whole account, all products, one ad group, fixed bid, copy it up and down, copy it down, or you can separate your Intuit portfolios or ASINs, whatever you want. And as I said, for the nerds, you can use ad groups behind it and you will directly see what is working best and you can get rid of the rest. And I'm really not working on the one side with negative keywords. On the other side, I'm not really going into the auto campaigns, because what is not working, I get rid of. And when it's not working for that bid, I have to recalculate. Maybe I have to use a higher or lower bid. You will figure it out in your accounts with your data, with your goals and strategies. That is one of the most important topics. I'm normally not the one who is saying use that bid for that results. I don't know your goals, strategies, and margins or your competitors. And so it's about the structure, the idea behind it. And when you're figuring out that your SAO is the normal PPC fundament, you don't need keyword harvesting anymore. But auto campaigns are really, really cool when you understand how they are working and for what you can use them. And that is being part of more relevant ad auctions over the whole day. And so you will have more won auctions called impressions. And with that, you have a possibility to be clicked. And after the click, from my point of view, the ad has done its work. After the click, it's your product detail page, yeah, and not the ad. You cannot judge your ad by the sales from a PDP. If the PDP is shitty, it is shitty. Yeah? You can spend a lot of budget into it, but at the end, the consumer and customer will come to your PDP, and when it's not working, it's not working. It's not a missing of your ads. Your ads were at the right place at the right time and being part at the ad auction, relevant ad auction. They've won it. So you get the impression. After the impression, a customer has seen you and find you click-worthy, yeah? And from that point of view, it's your PDP. It is not connected anymore to your PPC from my point of view. That's the idea behind it. Keep it simple, stupid, but use auto campaigns in a copied style with all 3 bid modifiers.
Thank you so much. Very cool, fresh angle how to look at auto campaigns, and definitely because you have been in the space for so many years, probably the phrase keyword harvesting through auto campaigns was, yeah, it was something people talked about earlier, right? We didn't have so much data from Amazon as we have now from brand analytics and etc. But thank you. Yeah, I think your breakdown of how to set up these campaigns was very clear. And if sellers are watching us and you're now following along and setting up those campaigns, then definitely let us know in the comments afterwards. How is it going for you and what kind of results you're having? And we can always invite Christian to come back and see your comments as well. Yeah, is there anything else you would like to highlight, either about auto campaigns or overall about Amazon advertising in 2023?
Yeah, I think coming back to the problem with the keyword harvesting is really simple. Normally, when you're starting as a seller, you're focusing on sourcing. And when you have found your product, you're really happy, yeah? And you will not trying to start to write content. So you're sourcing that out. But what you're getting is content. You're asking for content, you're getting content. And normally what you're receiving is a title, bullet points, description, maybe backend keywords. The problem here is you're not understanding the way of content relevance analysis. you're getting. You're just getting the finished content. So you don't have that SEO database, which phrases were included, which keywords has he focused on, he or she, whoever has written the content, what keywords has he judged as non-relevant? Yeah, a garbage bin versus trash can or trash bin. No, bin is not relevant, or I haven't understand what is a bin. I have only known from my language barrier that is a trash can. I never heard of trash bin. That must be bullshit. Yeah, or a garbage can, litter bin, litter can. When you're not into the synonyms, the content you are asking for is only as good as your content writer. And what we have done as agency, for example, we also give our clients the complete list of content relevance analysis. We have looked at that main keywords, at that auto-suggest. That was the content, the input, and that's the reason why we have used that one. And a litter bin doesn't make any sense. It's too small. The trash can and the garbage can are more relevant. The bin is just in the backend keywords course, the search volume behind it, blah, blah. You know what I mean. And I think that was the problem. Everybody gets content without the understanding behind it. And so the keyword harvesting auto campaign was the easiest way to get a feedback from Amazon what you are relevant for. So I think that was the problem in the time. Last but not least, with auto campaigns that are really, really cool, really easy, you need to have a look at per year what is working. Absolutely, they have changed a lot. And so what they have also changed for 2023, I really liked that last 2 months, they've rolled it out, is expanded targeting. Normally you have that exact targeting, you're targeting with your ASIN on a specific ASIN, but now they've used expanded, or they are offering it. So that you're also being in the surroundings of that, for example, water bottle, what is more around that water bottle, not only exact on that water bottle. And it's really interesting. I think they are updating it daily. So you'll really be placed on new or newer products connected to that starting product. And I was like, what should I do with that? I cannot manage it. I cannot steer it really. I cannot handle it. So I've tried to use it for brand protection. And the idea was when I used my ASINs, one ASIN or portfolio of ASIN, whatever you want, they are connected to each other, only the bracelets, only the earrings. Yeah, so make it as relevant together as possible, or your trash cans 50 liter or your trash cans 30 liter. And then I set it up, my ads expanded on my own ads, on my own ASINs. My ASINs on my ASINs, the trash cans on the trash cans. And I set my brand as negative. So I was hoping for a perfect relevance as my content is good. So hopefully the algorithm will judge my content as good and will only connect it to good products, not to the shitty things nobody's searching for on the end of SERP site 100. No results, 0. Really nothing happened. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe to negate your brand while using expanded on own ASINs to own ASINs advertised, that's a problem. I've stopped that. And then everything exploded directly. And to 90%, my ASINs on my ASINs. 10%, sometimes only 5% competitor ASINs into that section. And so I understand, oh, that's really cool when you're going into brand protection to figuring out and being placed in more ad slots on your PDPs. Of course, that is one of the biggest problems. Yeah? You're setting one ad on one of your products, but what is about the rest of the ad carousel, all that side long competitors and the next and the next and the next. We know it from desktop view, but only also on the mobile product detail page. That's really cool. So if you want to go to next level product, brand protection, expand your ASINs on your ASINs. That's really cool. And what everybody is missing, that isn't new in 2023, that is really an old one. Brand protection is also working with Refine. We all knew that the product targeting is the only thing, and the category targeting, which you can use in sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display. Yeah, that's the only ad format in all three of them. And with the categories, you see always that Refine. You can refine by price, by reviews, and by different stuff, by prime, non-prime, but you can also refine on brand. Not only on competitor brand, also on your brand. So that is really cool. The success of that campaigns is absolutely going crazy all the time. We are starting them. That is really cool. So refine on your own brand. And don't forget, if you can refine on your own brand for brand protection, a lot of sellers out there are not using it. So open doors for your ads, refine on the brand of the competitor. Absolutely awesome to use that. Normally, nobody is talking about it and using it because everybody is focused on keywords and auto campaigns and sponsored products at all. Maybe sometimes the video ads are hyped, results are good, but they are not so scalable at the end. And it's more interesting when you're really looking on a chart of which function is available in every ad part, sponsored products, brands, and sponsored display. Category and product targeting. So expanded product targeting and refine category targeting on your own brand or other brands. Nobody is going into the last details. It's one click more, you need to understand the system, or another click more. And everybody's saying brand protection is enough. My ASINs on my ASINs and my ASINs on my keywords. No, there's more behind it. And I really like that. So you have to do 3 steps. Think new about auto campaigns, expand on your own ASINs, and refine on your own brand or your competitor.
Love the 2 additional tips that you gave. Also very good explanations how to execute and use them and what's the benefit of that. So thank you so much for sharing all of it with the sellers watching us. So before we go, I wanted to ask one more time if you could explain what Amalyze is, how Amazon sellers can benefit from it, and also what's the best way to reach out to you and also learn more about the service as a software you offer.
Yeah, so of course you can learn everything about anything or everything. Oh, well, that's the language barrier for my school English. You can follow us on YouTube. Of course, we have a course where we have also an English channel. And for all the others, normally LinkedIn is a perfect way of interact, to communicate. We are posting a lot of things, but you can directly get in contact with me if you have any questions. Amalyze by itself is just a tool. It's called Shield, and we have a huge database for the big countries, United States, European countries. And we have built it up normally as every tool is offering it a reverse lookup. Yeah, see where you are ranking, or let's have a deeper look in your competitors. We have developed an own sales share momentum to analyze when it's going into parent and variation systems. And that sales share is not based on reviews or something like that. We are really calculating that through every day. We have a specific own keyword ranking. So you're setting up a frequency, if it's hourly or 3 hourly, 6 hourly, or whatever you want, and you're seeing directly where you are ranking and also where your ads appears. That is normally the way of thinking when it comes to keyword rankings. We have a specific listing builder. That means you're not writing content that is a part of a listing, but a listing builder includes the complete inventory file, flat file of Amazon. You're loading it up in our system. You can fill it out, and then you can download it and load it up to Amazon. So that's really interesting. And on the other side, we have some specific features. Normally, you're trying to judge a tool via comparison. So we have that, what is working better? Well, that's a problem. Amalyze has unique features like entities. Yeah, while entities is a cool solution if you're going into specific audiences, colors, patterns, and all that stuff. Because what we are doing is cut a search phrase into its parts and taking that parts into specific clusters. What is the size? What is the number? What is a feature? What is a brand? What is a body part, standalone products, materials, animals, fantasy creatures, genders, audiences, styles, designs. And that is really, really cool. Of course, you're just opening up a new word and you will see all that insights directly clustered to understand better what is your customer searching for, what is he really into it. And with that, you can better perform on Amazon. You have a better SEO, you have a better PPC, you can build up better images when you're directly knowing for which, let's say, events or triggers a customer is searching a garden chair and everybody is entering a garden chair combined with camping. You don't need the pictures of a porch. You need the pictures of a tent and the camping behind it. That is really cool. So we have a lot of unique features. As I said, entities is one of them. And yeah, just reach out. You can find us on all the normal platforms, of course, Facebook. We have our community here, or you write it directly here in the content. But before you write a comment here directly in the video, like
and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe definitely, and let us know if you would like to see Christian again on our channel, because I think today's session was really full of great information and actionable tips. So thanks again, Christian, for joining me, and I hope to see you soon again.
Bye.
If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Also, if you want to try out Amalyze tool for Amazon advertising, find the special offer below in the video description. And now I recommend you to watch other video with Christian where he explains how to find and use your competitor keywords to improve your ranking. Check this out.